Hello, it's Dave March, the Spy Guy, and I'm coming here to you to finally talk about a movie I don't like. I've been like watching, doing some of these reviews for a little while, and I did one of the first movies I ever did, and I put it on private because I swore way too much in that movie review because I really, really hated that movie. But one day I will go back and do a review of Allied with a lot less swearing, but probably the same amount of animated because I gave that movie a 4 out of 100 because it's so bad. Today I'm going to review Skylines, the third movie in the Skyline trilogy, and apparently the last movie. My God, I hope so. For those, and it's hard to believe that this is the movie that got the franchise. When Skyline came out, it was made by the same guys, I believe, who did this. There was like historically Hollywood will go out and make like a movie that was you'll have two different movies of the same kind of themes coming out at roughly the same time, and one movie was Skyline, and there was another one based on like another battle movie. I can't remember. It was, should have looked that one up. I thought it would be right here, but like there was a, and they was it the Battle for LA or something like that. Anyways, Battle LA is the much better movie, and of course the much better movie does not get a trilogy. It gets just kind of makes a little bit of money and goes away. Skylines is made, or Skyline, the first one, is made in 2010 by Greg and Colin Strauss, and was made on like a 10 to 20 million dollar budget, and then went on to make about 70 million worldwide. I never saw it. Friends of mine thought it was okay. But basically, giant alien ships arrive over LA and start sucking up all the humans. And eventually, you find out that the sucking up is that like they're processing brains of humans, and using them to power different thing, power like their machinery. And perhaps that these aliens have been coming along over the centuries multiple times, and every time humanity gets up to a certain critical point, they'll come along and take us out again. The final scene is like one human man is convert. Oh, and they also convert humans into cybernetic organisms and make them into their slaves. And it's one of the last scene apparently. No, I'm only explaining this because it goes into the next couple movies. And hey, spoiler warning for anyone who hasn't seen this movie. Came out 11 years ago. I feel okay spoiling it. Then they fight them, and the aliens are winning, and one lone human tries to fight back against the machines. In the second movie, which is actually pretty good, is the one I did see. It's called Beyond Skyline, and it stars Frank Grillo, and basically starts off with a similar time in LA, but with a different protagonist. Eventually, they end up in Thailand, where they find like they start fighting back against the aliens, and they start in the second movie. You start learning different things about the aliens and how they do things, and ways to fight back and avoid their powers and not get sucked into by the hypnotic pull of the machines. And there is a girl there who is like there's a doctor who examines a baby girl and learns about her unique DNA, which allows her eventually to like fight back and take control of the aliens and eventually free all of humanity, even though if the humans have been converted so into machines, they're now free to fight back, and they launch like they take on alien. The last scene of the second movie is them launching the counterattack against that. And in the third movie, we find out that yes, this savior quasi Hatteract child is been created, launched the last offensive, blew up the last invasion spaceships, but we haven't heard anything from the aliens, and it's set 15 years after the original invasion. We get a crew of people brought together. We get two real storylines that start to happen. So it turns out only biomechanical humans are starting to fall victim to a virus. And basically, they're reverting back to being like when they were under the control of the aliens and becoming hostile. Uh, the girl who from the first movie is now much older, and she had a weird, because the aliens artificially grew her, so she's not, even though it's 15 years later, she's like in her late 20s, and she's brought back by the general who commands the Earth and says, "Hey, unless we go off and get these." Uh, we go to the alien homeworld and find out what they're up to and get back this like master control thing that was lost in the last invasion force and teleported back home, back to their home planet. We all the biomechanical people on Earth will go back, will into full revolt mode and kill all the humans or kill as many as they can. So all the work we've been doing the last 15 years to try and rebuild will go to naught, and all these people go on the berserker rage. So, and of course, the person telling us is Alexander Siddig of Deep Space Nine. But unfortunately, Alexander Siddig has now become, who's Dr. Bashir in that show, has now become the Malcolm McDowell of our times. And so his immediate inclusion means we're very suspicious of him. And at one point in this movie, all the characters at the beginning of the movie are like telling the girl, like, we need you to do this. You need to come on this. We're going to go on a heist mission. We're going to infiltrate the alien base. We're going to break into that place and get this control rod, and we'll get out and we'll come back Earth and save everyone. We're not going to do anything. And I wish that movie had been made. That sounds interesting. What we got is a boring, by the numbers, very predictable aliens retread. So I'm going to give you I'm definitely going to spoilers on this one, but I don't care. I'm saving you from this movie. If you want my review number, I'll say it's a 45 out of 100. Everywhere else after this, don't care. You have been warned. So once they get there, they get down on the planet. They crash land on the planet, start messing around, trying to get. They find all the alien spaceships are dead. They land on the planet. They start looking for like the aliens and how to get their basically their master control, this power source. They're trying the MacGuffin. They're trying to get the MacGuffin, and you get there and you're like fighting all these new aliens that are apparently mutant versions of the previous aliens. They get inside, they find the masters of the invasion force, and they're like, you've dropped a plague on us and you've done this and that. And it turns out the Alexander City character, and who does a decent job of like mustache twirling as a villain, but he just is like, oh yeah, I did release the bioweapon first on Earth and then on this planet, and now everyone's dying, and now humanity will be free, and we won't have to worry about all these machines that were our relatives. We're now free willing and stuff. And it was just sort of like, it was all paint by the numbers. You could predict, and by the third, there's like a huge firefight for the second half of the film where we're just whittling down the numbers of all the characters we introduced in the beginning of the movie, alien style. Not to mention, there's a somewhat interesting plot line going on back on Earth where people are trying to figure out a virus, a cure to the virus. But what's the point of trying to figure out the cure to the virus when you're over here getting another cure to the virus? So it's sort of like, it's the story back on Earth is much more interesting, but like, I don't want to get too much into like wokeness, but that storyline on Earth with the two girls, they're fighting off the alien hordes. You can tell people like the main hero in this movie is a girl. Like, it's done well, so it's not like that. But there's agendas being played here because that's what everyone wants, and I'm pretty sure that it's just like, I don't feel bad for any of the guys. They do hold up on their own. It's just like, there's clearly a little bit, it's a decent agenda. It's just the movie sucks. So I'm just letting you know, don't waste your time on Skylines. Go find something else to do. This has been like, this movie is not good. It's not bad, it's good. It's not like that in the other movie where I just recently reviewed. Uh, what was it? Casino Plane or whatever. That was a decent heist movie with lots of in jokes and other things. This is just like, I wish they made the heist movie. That would have been interesting. This is just a boring paint by numbers, action retread. You've all seen it done other and better done well somewhere else. If you really want to watch this movie, don't. Go get yourself a copy of Aliens. Watch that. You'll be much better off. Unless you're a diehard fan of this series and you want to see it find its conclusion, uh, do something. Don't watch this movie. And even if you're, it's just like you pitched a better movie in your introduction in your first 30 minutes than the movie we got. Okay, well, I'm not going to waste a lot more time on this one, but that's just been my review of Skylines. It's hard to believe that we got a trilogy of these movies out of all this nonsense. It's what it is. Anyways, if you like this kind of stuff, you want to watch more of me talking and ranting about this kind of stuff, feel free to stop on by. You can watch me, find me here on the channel or on some of my friends' channels. This has been like, share, subscribe, or visit me somewhere else. Otherwise, I'll see you out there on the internet, or bye-bye. Where is that off button? I can't off this too soon. Bye.